Um, Mostly one, yeah. So, well, my favorite player is Kobe Bryant. Like, stop it. I'm safe to say that I know a lot about Kobe. Kobe's my favorite player. I know everything about him. Like he's a 5-time NBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP, and 1-time league MVP. But the one thing that I feel that stands out the most about him is that he was drafted into the NBA straight out of high school. He made a tough decision on whether he wanted to go and continue his education or make the jump straight to the pros. This was a tough decision for him because he was only 17 when he entered the NBA. He was the youngest player, well, second youngest player to enter the NBA, and straight out of high school. But now, just recently, well, not recently, but about 5 years ago, the NBA established the age limit rule, which allows players, which doesn't allow players to join the NBA until they're 19 years old. This rule had its share of debates, whether it'll work or not, but the NBA chose it because it will only benefit them. They didn't realize that it wouldn't benefit either college or high school students. As for myself, I questioned this rule because I felt that NBA high school players had great success right now. For example, Kobe Bryant, one of the best players in the league. And well, today I'm going to be speaking about the age limit rule and why was it established, the causes, the effects to it, the two effects to it that affects high school players and college programs, and I will speak about some solutions and some ways that this problem could be fixed. Alright, the age limit rule was changed to. Can you see that? Okay. Was changed to from 18 years old to 19 years old. From 18 years old to 19 years old. They felt that the reason they should change this rule was because they felt NBA scouts were wasting their time in high school gyms when they should be worried about other players like in their own league. Another reason why they changed it was they actually felt that high school players needed one more year to develop into like becoming a man. I don't know why, but there's no reason why. You're 18, you're 19. It doesn't make a difference. Just one more year. And they also felt that NBA teams will benefit financially. They felt that signing a high school player would lessen their chance of gaining money instead of losing money. Right. Now that I've shared about background of why they changed the rule to 18 to 19 years old, I'm gonna talk about the effects that it causes to high school players and college programs. One effect is it ruins college programs. College programs spend so much time in recruiting, spending the time looking at these players for a whole year, and when in actuality these players are only going to college for 1 year just to get it over with. These players, like example Kevin Love, OJ Mayo, Derrick Rose, Michael Beasley, they did the typical thing. They did the one and done rule, which is they go to college just to play for 1 year for no reason, and just play just to play. It's just the one and done rule. That's all they do. And one example for today is Cesar Guerrero. He goes to St. John Bosco, which is just like down the street. He had committed to Western Kentucky about a few months back, but 2 weeks after he committed, he decommitted and unsigned with them. So this forced the college program. They were all excited knowing that they signed the top prospect in California, the top point guard prospect in California, thinking that he was going to help their team. When in actuality, he backed down and ruined the college program, thinking that it wasn't as best for him. And these guys, Kevin Love, he went to UCLA. They went to I think it was a Sweet 16 or Final Four, and seemed like I think they lost. Yeah, they did lose in the Sweet 16. Well, they were actually these players play just to play. They don't play to win because all they want to do is get that year over with and move on to an NBA just to make the big bucks. Another forces high school students to attend college. Some high school students aren't academically able to move on to the next step in their education, move on to college education. Simple as that. Some kids have it, some kids don't. And for example, Brandon Jennings, he was a high school All-American, one of the best players. He played for one of the best teams in the nation that year. But he had a full ride to go on to Arizona University, but the reason he did not go was because of his low SAT scores. So he decided to move on and move to Europe to play basketball. So instead of taking his education, he went to Europe to go make money, turn 19 years old, and then move back to the NBA, as he is right there. The big question is, like, how many players are gonna make this big step and move to Europe instead of taking their education and taking the big bucks in Europe? That's the thing. That's exactly what he did. According to Chris Ford, an NBA insider, he wrote an article in '06. Programs land top recruits, and they're rebuilding and reloading process. But every year, every freshman will leave and just join the NBA, which ruins college programs too. And it's clear that this affects young adults in many ways. Now I'm going to explain some solutions. One solution that I thought was allow high school students to enter the draft, but if they opt for college, they have to stay for a minimum of 2 years, which is an MLB rule, which actually helps the Major League Baseball. Another rule is they either pick Kansas or the Lakers, whoever they want to play for. Another rule is just go back to the same rule. Many players that have great success coming straight out of high school. For example, Kobe winning an MVP award, LeBron James winning an MVP award, Kevin Garnett winning an MVP award, and many other players. They're like the face of the NBA. These top players have won NBA championships. They've been in the past. Kobe and Kevin Garnett have been in the past 2 of the last 3 NBA champions. Well, Kobe's been in 3, Kevin Garnett's been in 2. And in conclusion, I pointed out the problem, which was the NBA age limit rule, the effects to it, and some solutions that I thought would work in fixing this problem. I can say that 6 out of the top 10 NBA players in the NBA right now came straight out of high school, and right now they are the face of the NBA. So this is why I feel that they should change the age limit rule back to 18 years old, because they're adults. They should be able to make the tough decision on whether they want to continue their education or play to continue their education and continue their career, or play basketball and make big bucks. Thank you.